San Francisco, a Quinn Martin production, starring Carl Malden. Also starring Michael Douglas. With guest stars Michael Burns, Renee Jarrett, special guest star Don Stroud. Tonight's episode, I Ain't Marching Anymore. On September 16th, 1974, the President of the United States offered a conditional amnesty to all war resistors still at large. At that time, it was estimated that there were some 50,000 young Americans living as fugitives. This story, set in the spring of '74, deals with a group of young men like some of those still living without a home, without a country.
Hello? Hello?
Hi, Mom.
Bob. It's Bob. How are you, honey?
I'm fine. Really good.
You sure nothing's wrong?
No, nothing's wrong. Everything's fine.
Here's your father.
Hello, son.
Hi, Pop. Gee, you sound terrific.
Oh, me? Yeah, well, I'm okay, you know. Got to keep punching the old clock.
Yeah. That's great. How's Mom's back?
Wants to know how your back is.
Tell him it's fine.
She says her back is fine. It's her head I'm not so sure about sometimes.
You stop that. It's long distance.
Yeah, you two still at it, huh?
No, I know when I'm licked. Say, how is it up there, son? Pretty cold, huh?
No, weather's fine. Listen, Pop, I gotta go. Tell Mom thanks for the socks. They're really warm. Hey, it's about time for you to pick up the old evening sports page, isn't it?
Yeah, just about. Well, take care of yourself, son.
Yeah, goodbye, Pop.
We miss you, honey. We miss you so much.
I miss you too, Mom. Take care.
Bob's on? What are you doing here? Hey, no! No, don't!
Sure, I'll meet you. How about somewhere between here and where you are? Let's say, City Hall Plaza. In a half hour? All right, I'll see you then. Right, that's a date. Government's got a make on that Front Street shooting.
Who was he?
Robert Emery Zahn, United States Marine Corps. Wanted for desertion.
Where, Vietnam?
Mm-hmm. Failed to return to his unit after R&R from Hong Kong. 1969.
69? That's a long time.
It certainly is. What have you got?
Well, oh, I got the ballistics report.
Something wrong with it?
No, I was just thinking, 4 or 5 years on the run, halfway around the world, and bam, you're dead.
You're right. Bang, he's dead. Yeah.
What?
The slug they took out of him is a 9mm with a bullet weight of 94 grains?
Yeah, I saw that. What do you think, a foreign make?
94 grains, it's gotta be. The only gun I know that can take a load like that is a Russian service automatic. Yeah, it's either a Stechkin or a Makarov.
They used those in Vietnam?
Oh, they sure did.
So where you going?
Don't worry, it ain't Moscow. Zahn is a local kid whose parents live over on Colfax. Will you talk to them? Yeah. I've got a date with a government guy named Carson. I'll pick up what I can on this kid's background.
Enlisted U.S. Marine Corps, Camp Pendleton, Vietnam, Echo Company, 2nd Battalion, 3rd Marines. Promoted to corporal.
Mustard?
Yeah, thanks. Bronze Star, Purple Heart. Made squad leader of the 3rd Platoon's Alpha Squad. AWOL, September 29, 1969. Surfaced in Toronto, November 10.
When did he come here?
Well, this is the last report. Still has him in Canada.
Oh, yeah? I thought you government guys had everything wired right down to the last minute. I guess I'm going to have to write my congressman.
Come on, what do you want? The report's only 10 days old.
Well, that could mean that he wasn't in town more than a few days before he got shot.
No, he couldn't have been.
Let me ask you something. Why would he come here? He gets collared, he goes up for years. Some trouble he's running away from up there?
Well, we haven't heard of anything. The Canadians keep us pretty well informed. I don't know. It happens all the time, Mike. They get depressed, homesick.
They're around then, huh?
Oh, yeah. Deserters, draft evaders. A lot more of them stayed in the country than went out. Of course, they wouldn't last for a week if they weren't getting help.
From who?
Organizations, you know, all the deep breathers. Then the lawyers, businessmen. There's a doctor right over here on Powell. A man named Blakely. Straight arrow. No record of any radical activity. The last person on God's earth you'd think would be into helping fugitives.
What kind of help? Money?
No, not that so much. Mostly they get them jobs, maybe a place to stay. Put the new boys in touch with the old timers, that kind of thing.
Must be pretty tough to make a case against them then, isn't it?
You know, once in a while we get one, but they're pretty careful.
Thanks for the meeting.
No problem. Thanks for lunch.
Oh, forget it.
We don't know anything. We didn't even know he was home. He was right here in town. We didn't even know it.
I guess he was afraid to tell you.
What?
Well, he knew the authorities are looking for him. He probably told him to come here time to time. And he didn't want you to get in trouble if he got caught here.
We wouldn't have said anything.
Who's the girl?
I'm sorry.
The girl in the picture.
That's Kathy. Guess we should call her.
Sir, if you'd like, I can tell her.
Tell her what? That he died a coward, a deserter, a traitor?
Know that he's dead, that's all.
That's all? Well, that's not all. That's not anything. Tell her why he died. Tell me. Explain to me so I can understand. All right, maybe he was wrong. But was he so wrong that somebody should kill him? Was he?
Mr. Zahn, we don't know who killed him or why.
And maybe you don't care very much, huh? Maybe he's better off dead.
No. No, we care.
You killed him. You and all your friends with their stupid badges and your guns that you think make men out of you. Now you can close your books on the desperate criminal Robert Zahn.
Kathy, I'm not trying to close the book. Just fill in the blank pages. When was the last time you saw Robert?
Last year, I went to Toronto.
You didn't stay with him?
He wouldn't let me.
Did you know he was in San Francisco?
No.
Didn't he make any attempt to try?
How is he supposed to get in touch with me? They watch people like me. Haven't you heard? I'm a walking booby trap.
Okay.
Okay. What did you say your name was?
Keller.
You weren't in the service, were you, Keller?
No.
No. Policemen didn't get drafted, did they?
No, they didn't.
So you stayed at home and chased the ones who did.
Kathy, I'm sorry, but I'm not the enemy.
Who is Keller?
They really got to you, huh?
Yes, she got to me. So did Zahn's dad. I'm not going to say they didn't, but you can't say my idea doesn't make sense. Somebody's got to get in contact with these guys.
Well, we don't know for sure whether Zahn made contact with anyone. He may have just sat in his hotel room.
You said yourself the first thing he probably did when he got to town was to make contact with the deserters.
No, I didn't say that. I said that was the government's theory.
You got a better one?
You're really hot under the collar, aren't you?
Forget it.
All right. Let's say you go undercover. What makes you so sure you can find these people?
I'll get in contact with the doctor.
Have you got a cover story?
No, not yet, no.
Well, you're going to need one. Where are you going to come from? Canada?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, then you're going to need a Canadian ID. So you better see Sergeant Diaz on intelligence. And those clothes, those clothes. Now, you better get a store label for those clothes.
You saying it's okay?
No, it's not okay.
But I can't do it.
Yes, you can do it. But I want you to call me every 2 hours. Hot or cold, every 2
Mike,
hours.
come on.
2 hours.
Okay, 2 hours. Is that it, Mama?
No, it's not all. Now, we've been through a lot of scrapes together, haven't we?
Yeah?
Well, I don't want to lecture you. I just want to remind you. I want to remind you that politics and police work don't mix. These boys that you're going to try to hook up with, they broke a law. And because they broke that law, some people think they're criminals. Other people think they're heroes. Now, as far as you're concerned, the only thing that matters is the fact that you're carrying a shield. And that means that how you feel about things don't get in the way of what you do about them. Have you got that?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Now, these guys have been underground for a long time. They're not going to be lollipops.
No.
And it's just possible that Robert Zahn did go underground just like you're going to do. And it's possible that somebody decided he wasn't straight. Now, he is toes up now. You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, what I want is... I want you to be heads up.
So do I. Thanks.
Oh, and this time I'm asking you, don't get a haircut.
Dizzy spells?
No.
Vomiting, nausea?
No, I'm all right. I mean, there's nothing wrong with me.
One of us seems to be a bit confused. You do know I'm a doctor.
Yeah, I know, but that's not what I had to see you about. See, I got into town yesterday, you know, and I'm pretty broke. Well, I had an okay job up in Canada, but I lost it. Well, see, the thing is, I don't know anybody, and if I could just find some other guys in the same boat, you know, maybe they could help me, you know, until I got squared away.
That's all very interesting, Mr. Murdoch, but I'm still not sure why you came to me.
I need help.
I can see that. How about Traveler's Aid or one of the city agencies? I'm a doctor.
Right, Benjamin Blakely.
That's me.
Right.
And how did you get my name?
Zahn, Bobby Zahn.
Zahn.
Yeah, see, I'm on the run, too. I'm a resistor, and Zahn, he was a deserter. And I was in Toronto, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, and I told him I was going to try to make it in the States, and he gave me your name and told me you could turn me on to some of the guys down here.
Well, he told you wrong. I don't know anybody named Zahn.
Oh, Doc, come on.
Certainly
don't shut me out, Doc. Please give me a break. Come on. I heard you were okay. Guess I heard wrong. Thanks for nothing.
Miss Collins, would you get me that young man's address? Thank you.
He's been in Canada.
What makes you think that?
There was a book of matches from some bar and grill in Vancouver and a sweater he got in Toronto.
He doesn't have a letter. How come he doesn't have a letter?
I don't know. But sometimes you have to take a chance.
Yeah, why?
Come on, Val. How would you like it?
How would you like it if he turned out to be a Fed?
Can you tell me anything about this boy? The kind of kid he was? Was he ever in trouble?
I'm sorry. They're all just names on a card after a while.
What about his teachers?
Well, that's possible. Here we are. Robert E. Zahn, class of 67. Homeroom teacher, Miss Paulson. Yes, if anyone would remember him, she would.
I'd like to meet her.
Well, she's left us. Retired about 1970.
Well, do you happen to have an address on her?
I'm sure we do. Miss Granucci, would you help the lieutenant, please?
I appreciate that, Mr. Denker. Wilson?
Yes?
Lieutenant Stone, San Francisco Police Department. I'd like to talk to you about one of your former pupils, Robert Zahn.
Well, I don't think I want to talk to you about Robert, Lieutenant. If he's in trouble with the government, that's his business, not mine.
Well, I'm afraid it's more than trouble. He's been murdered.
Looks all right so far.
He could be wired.
So we'll have a look. How did it go?
He didn't talk to anyone.
How you doing? I'm Murdoch.
Murphy, Stone, have you heard from Keller? What time have you got? Yeah, every 2 hours. Okay, I'll keep in touch.
You see, Murdoch, it's like we don't know who you are. I mean, you could be anybody.
Right. See, when someone from the outside gets in touch with us, well, they usually have this letter of introduction or something we could check out.
Yeah, well, I've never been into the, the exile community thing.
You were somewhere, brother.
Sure, I've been a lot of places. I was in Red Deer, Winnipeg, even Glace Bay up in Nova Scotia. Name it, I probably washed dishes or cut timber or something.
Where were you drafted?
Pennsylvania. Well, I never took the step. I just caught the first bus heading north.
How come you're here? I mean, here with us.
Yeah, I guess that's what we really want to know.
Right. Well, I was in Toronto about 2 weeks ago, and I stopped by the committee to see if there's anything new about amnesty, and I got talking with this deserter, Bobby Zahn. Any of you guys know him? Anyway, he told me he was going to try to make it in San Francisco, underground. I said, well, how do you do that? And he told me about this guy, Blakely, Dr. Blakely.
I still don't answer the question.
Why I'm here?
Right.
Well, right now, man, I wish I knew. I don't know, I left Toronto, I was heading west, and I couldn't get a job. I had my thumb out, and I started thinking about it. Why not? Why don't I give it a try? And now I'm here.
Murdoch, come here.
It's possible.
Yeah, man, but he's not too bright. He's here, isn't he?
Let me ask you a question. How do we know that you're not an agent?
You gonna throw me over just in case? Welcome home. Thank you.
Well, this is it.
Was it okay to take this thing off?
Sure.
Welcome to the home for wayward boys.
Well, thank you. Whose place is this?
Belongs to Harris.
What, do you own it? Yeah. Yeah, you can just dump your gear in one of the empty rooms, all right? Show them around. Hey, thank you. Thanks a lot.
It's Canford. Well,
And I'm Powers. We go by last names. So much for the formalities.
Let's grab a beer.
So now you know who's the officer and the gentleman in the crowd.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Listen, what happened to Harris's leg?
You got shot.
Where?
None. Where else?
Hey, he don't like to talk about it, you know.
Well, has he got a discharge?
Oh yeah, he's not hiding out. He just lets us crash here till we get papers, a job, place to live, like that.
That's pretty nice.
All right, rules of the house. Number 1, no free rides. Everybody helps out.
It's fine by me.
Number 2, there's a telephone in there. Maybe it's bugged, maybe not. Nobody knows. You want to make a phone call, you get on the gas station to make a phone call.
Okay.
Except you have nobody to call, right?
I guess not, no.
Hey, now? What's happening here? You must be the new guy.
Yeah.
Bennett, Murdoch.
Hey, now. Hey, you a Memphis boy?
No.
Shoot. I ain't talked to nobody from down home for so long. We had some real nice times down there, real nice.
Sorry, I wish I could help you.
I don't know what I'm doing here anyway. Chumping myself.
Why'd you go home?
Tried that. My mama called the FBI and told them to come and get me. You ready for that? My own sweet little mama.
Yeah, I guess we're all in the same boat one way or the other, huh? I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, later.
Yeah.
Yep. Hello?
Oh, you're the new one.
Yeah, you know where I can find a spare bed around here?
Yeah, I guess so. I think there's one upstairs. I just work here.
I'm Murdoch.
Where are you from?
Originally, back east.
Oh, originally back east. That covers a lot of ground.
Well, if I was going to tell you, I was from Coatesville, Pennsylvania. You know where that is?
Are you kidding me? Coatesville, Pennsylvania? And here I thought I was so well traveled.
If I said I lived on Blicker Street, played third base for Union High School, you wouldn't know whether I was lying or not, now would you?
No, but I could probably find out.
Be my guest.
What are you so angry about?
I've been ducking questions for 5 years. Now, all of a sudden, I'm supposed to open my mouth to a whole bunch of strangers I've never seen. Where you been? Where you from? What are you doing? I don't need that.
Hey, peace.
Forget it.
What are you, a deserter?
No, I'm an invader. What are you?
A writer, cook, listener, a friend of Ron's.
Ron Harris.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a busy schedule. This sure is a nice farm. Where are we?
Well, that's not on the schedule. You'll have to ask somebody else.
Well, sure is nice to know I instill so much confidence. I'll see you later.
Okay.
Nobody touched it.
Did I talk to you about Murdoch?
I guess you did.
What time did he check out?
Well, this afternoon sometime.
Time? What time?
Well, 1 o'clock, maybe 2 o'clock.
Get the key. I want to see his room.
Yeah, I got the key right here. That's it.
Come on.
Follow me, huh?
man. It's gonna be a hot one.
Yeah, it sure is. Hey, you must be in pretty good shape cutting all that timber up in Canada, huh?
Hey, remember that guy Zahn I told you about? I met him up in Toronto.
Yeah. What about him?
Well, he said he's coming down to San Francisco. Just wondered if he made it.
Why?
Yeah, he was a nice guy.
Well, I wouldn't know. I never seen him.
Didn't see Harris this morning.
Uh-huh. He went into town. What do you have, a doctor's appointment?
Yeah.
What about this fella Zahn, the one who's supposed to know him? Does he or doesn't he?
We don't know. Zahn never showed up.
What do you mean? He was here. I called you about him.
And we fixed it up so we'd meet, but he never came.
So you don't know if the new man's legitimate or an infiltrator? I can't say that makes me feel very secure.
Wait, here. Murdoch used this yesterday. I made sure nobody touched it. It's got his fingerprints on it.
So?
Well, I thought maybe you could have that friend of yours lift the prints and check them out.
What did I say? How am I going to explain that?
Doc, it's in a good cause, right?
You mean our necks?
No, I mean if this guy is who he says he is, we don't want to lose him. You must have felt the same way. You wouldn't have called.
Yeah, I know.
Okay?
I'll try.
Did he ever tell you why he deserted?
He wasn't the only one, you know. There were 500,000 others.
Well, I thought the most we ever had over there was 500,000. They didn't all quit.
I believe that figure is for all U.S. forces overseas since 1964.
All right. There are a lot of young men who chose the same way Robert Zahn did. But there are a lot more, many, many more, who didn't choose that way.
My country, right or wrong.
You think that's foolish?
You don't?
Well, I think it's a good country. And speaking for myself, it may be the best. Because I think we have a pretty good system of laws.
And laws should never be changed, huh?
I didn't say that, did I? The bad ones and the outdated ones, of course they should be changed. And I think they should be challenged, but if you're going to break a law that is still in effect, well, then you better be able to take the consequences.
Bob knew the consequences.
I'm sure he did. Miss Hollander, I don't want to argue with you about the war. Robert Zahn had a very good service record. He was decorated, he was promoted. And then all of a sudden, something happened. Something happened that made him turn around, completely around. Now, he wrote a letter to an old school teacher friend of his telling him what happened. But it was all kind of general. I thought maybe he had written to you, and that to you he was a little more specific. That's all I'm asking.
Let's say that he did. How would that help you find out who killed him?
I don't know. I'm just trying to fill in the blanks. If it happened to be a chance encounter, well, then it doesn't matter how many blanks I fill in, does it? But if somebody wanted him dead, I'd like to know why. Wouldn't you?
August 23rd, 1969. Bob was in Hong Kong for rest and rehabilitation. Dear Kathy, I think maybe I'm insane. If I'm not, somebody is. I wonder whether anybody knows what this war is doing to some of us who have to fight it. Something happened that I have to tell you about, because if I don't, I know I'll stop believing it really happened. We were going to go out on a patrol to locate the VC. We knew they were waiting to hit us, and nobody liked the idea. The lieutenant passed the order to start moving, and a guy in my squad, a guy named Randall, pulled the pin on a grenade and rolled it up behind him. Just like that. Pulled the pin and killed him. I was the only one who saw it, and I think the guy would have killed me too, except that the explosion gave away our position, and the VC opened up on us. When the firing stopped, Randall was gone. I never saw him again. I put him on report. That's all I could do. But I wonder what it means when life gets so cheap that we can kill each other just as easy as we can kill the enemy. I wonder if that is happening to me. If it is, and if I don't do something about it, does that make me insane? The next time I heard from him, he was in Canada.
May I use your phone?
Help yourself.
This is a police call. I'd like long distance to give me the United States Marine Corps base at Camp Pendleton, Oceanside, California.
But what I want to know is why is Vale so uptight?
Oh, he's all right. He spent a long time in Nam, and I guess they had a rough time.
Wonder if Bobby Zahn ever made it.
Hey, wasn't he that guy who made contact last week? I think that was Zahn. Yeah.
Any of you guys want anything from the store?
Hey, give me a Hershey bar.
A fat woman with money.
Wait a minute, I'll give you a hand.
Hey, where's Murdoch going?
In the store. Listen, why don't I go fill it up with gas? I'll meet you back here.
Okay, fine. Just tell Jonas to put it on the bill.
Anybody here?
No, there's no number on this thing, but there's a general store called Peterson's in Alsford. Right across the street's a one-pupper station. It's, I don't know, maybe 40, 50 minutes out of town, probably between you and Modesto.
Say, that's an awful lot of real estate. Listen, this is what I picked up. A Marine in Zahn's outfit fragged a lieutenant. Zahn was the only witness. The guy's name who did it is Randall. Now, I've got the Marine Corps looking up his service record and his description.
Okay, I'll check it out. Wait a minute, hold on 1 second.
Hey, mister! Where are we? Where is this place?
Listen, I got trouble. I'll have to call you when I can. Bye.
Hey, what are you doing, man?
Well, you told me to use that phone.
Yeah, I thought you said you didn't know anybody.
Remember the chick.
Where, from Canada?
And I'll have to answer all your questions.
My jail is tight, yours, brother. Hey, you've been asking a lot of questions around here. About time you answer some.
Yeah, and you just back off.
sudden you remember some old friends.
There's only one way they could have found him. You told him, and I want you to tell me where he is.
I'm gonna call my lawyer.
You do that. But you listen to me. This has nothing to do with politics. It has nothing to do with the Vietnam War, whether it's right or whether it's wrong. This has to do with the cop. And if anything happens to that cop, if he is killed or hurt in any way, I promise you, you're going to be the fall guy. Now go on, call.
You really think he's in danger?
Did you ever hear of a kid named Robert Zahn?
Yes, he was here a few days ago. Why?
He's been murdered. And we think one of your good friends pulled the trigger.
I think he's an agent.
That's your problem.
Yeah? Well, I got the answer to it right here.
Now, hey, come on, man. You don't need that. Get away, Val.
Let's hear some answers, man.
Or what? You gonna kill me like you did Zahn, that lieutenant?
What are you talking about?
Bad news, Vale. Or is it Randall? Either way, if you kill me now, you're gonna have to kill every person here.
How do you know that Zahn was killed?
Because I saw the body. He was shot to death last Wednesday after we made contact, and the bullet came from a Russian automatic, probably that gun right there.
He's a cop, man.
Later for this.
Hey, hold it, hold it!
What do you mean, hold it? I'm looking at 5 years in the joint.
Now, let's take it easy. Let's cool out. Now, let's put it together. Now, how about it? Are you an agent?
No, I'm not FBI. I'm not military intelligence. Like the man said, I'm just a cop, okay? I'm on a murder case. You got that? A murder case.
Oh, yeah, I believe that.
It doesn't make any difference. It's him or us. Well, isn't it? I mean, how else do we get out of this?
I don't believe this whole thing. What are you? I thought you were supposed to stand for something. But what is it? Killing? Get him before he gets you? You could have had all that you wanted in Vietnam and been heroes for it now if that's all you cared about. I thought you were supposed to be different.
Hey, look, I realize I'm not exactly a neutral observer, but you guys have been on the run for a long time, getting dumped, spit on. And for what? So you can kill me now? Come on. Randall, we're gonna go in.
Name's Vale. No, I've never killed anybody. I don't know anything about this guy Zahn.
I'll take it. Whose gun is it? It's mine. Picked it up in Nam. And you picked up Zahn? That's right. What happened? I went to meet him. He didn't show up. No, he showed. Yeah, he showed just like me. And you left him, Harris, just where we found him. Were you there? No, and I wasn't in Nam either. Maybe that's why I don't understand how you could kill your own kind. Give me the gun.
Hey, look. You got anything to do with this, Zahn?
That's right. Zahn saw this guy frag his own lieutenant. Shut up! You have got no right to judge me. I'm not judging you. They are. We were looking right into an ambush. There was this lieutenant. Grayson was his name. A real gun. He could have let us hole up. He could have let us hole up and then pull back, but that wasn't his style, you see. With my life, he was bucking for tracks. He passed the order to move out. I figured it was either him or me, so I... Afterwards, they started opening up on us, you see. So I started to run. I ran until I came on this guy, Harris, Ron Harris. He was dead, so I took his tags, that's all. It was then that I stepped on that mine. I was out there for 3 days before they picked up what was left of me. And Zahn was the only guy who saw it. That's right. But I figured him for dead. Well, what would you have done, huh? same thing, right? Okay, I understand.
I don't understand. If you could do all that, why this?
Guilt. Maybe. All right. You guys are on your own. You coming? Vale, give me the gun.
No!
You can have him, man. Not with this.
Okay.
Oh, please let him go. I mean, it's all over, isn't it?
You want to tell Bob Zahn that, or his family? Any of you want to tell him that? Get out of there, Randall! Thanks.
The war's over. Let's get out of here.
Come on. Yeah, you too, babe, unless you want to go with him.
Guns in the shed. Peace, brother.
The only one in it?
Yeah.
Is that the gun he used?
Uh-huh.
And the other Skip?
Well, there are more of them than were of me. How'd you find this place?
Oh, the doctor.
Is he gonna face charges?
Oh, no, that's for the Bureau. We tell him everything we know. I'm in homicide, remember? That other war, that's for a different department.